Oh wow, look at that light. Is that funny? Is that not right? Why is that like that? Stop it. Don't do that. Too late. I'm red. I'm a red faced person. It's normal to have a red face. I'm just embarrassed, terribly embarrassed about a thing. And what I wanted to talk about was wisdom, and I'm embarrassed. That's why my face is red. Because the people I know that I keep with me, do they know about wisdom? And I'm embarrassed. And I just want to talk about what is wisdom, what is the nature of wisdom, where does wisdom come from? And I believe wisdom comes from the most accurate perception of truth. And I believe that spiritually, where can it be found, the most accurate perception of truth? The Bible. The Bible's even spiritual about it itself. And that's just me, that's my opinion. But, that's my perception as well. Not to be misleading that, oh, in order to have wisdom, you can't ever tell a lie. Do I lie? No. Do I consider that wisdom? Yes, because I don't have to keep up with my lies. It makes my life easier. I don't lie, and I never have to explain myself, and that makes my life easier. That's why I do it. I don't do it, for the accolades. I don't like, hey, guess what, ladies? I don't lie. Look at me. And they're all like, we lie all the time. What are you doing? And it's just what I do. I don't want to lie, because I don't want to keep up with my lies. I don't want to have to keep track of them. And I feel like it's better for me. And but along the lines of wisdom, if wisdom is the most accurate perception we have of truth, how does everyone get to that accuracy of truth? How does everyone get there? It takes awareness. It takes waking up to these aspects of truth that we had not comprehended before, and we had not been aware of that, and they had not had any um, staying power. They had not had any presence in our life. These elements of truth had not had any presence in our life when we were asleep, and we would just overlook it. Just when you're young, you don't learn everything right away. You don't turn 6 and you know everything about the world. And now it's time to just get taller and look prettier, and have protruding eyebrows and protruding cheekbones and protruding jawbones and have this sculpted face for some reason that's sculpted. Um, what is that? Is that wisdom? I don't. Apparently I didn't prescribe to it. I'm not, like that. But um, back to what is wisdom? It is looking at that and accepting it as being what it is. It is looking at things and they are what they are. You know, um, it's always going to be what it is. It is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's never going to be what it is not. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And who does the best at illustrating that? The Bible. Honestly, I've never come across a man that had more wisdom than a man that got his wisdom from the Bible. Never seen it. Never seen a man without a Bible have more. You look at Stephen Hawking, and what does he say about God? Why does he say there's no God? And then he sounds like a little child. Okay, what does he say about math and science? Fantastic. Oh, wow, yeah. Must have paid attention in school, must have done all his homework. That's great. But then when he talks about why there's not a God, he sounds like a little kid to me. He sounds like a child. It's like, okay, I'll break it down for you. Here's the argument for there's no God. I can't see it. I don't believe in it. The end of the story. Got it. I get it. Done. But when Stephen Hawking writes this fairy tale about how there is no God, isn't that isn't that against what you're saying? You have to believe in not believing in. and it's I don't think that that's the most accurate perception of truth that we have. I think, it can be described that maybe, there's a difference between having your lights on, having your lights off. And having your lights off is a very real feeling for how things are. You have a different awareness of where things are. Okay, let's say we all have a house that we live in. We go through life and we have certain trains of thought. Intimate thoughts are the bedroom room. Um, Cleanly thoughts are the bathroom and the kitchen, or preparing food, or taking care of waste, or and there's these different modes of thought that we develop these consistencies of in our lives, and it's like having a house, and it's like being in rooms of the house, and if that's the case, we'd have lights in our house, and are the lights on, or do we have a belief in a thing like peace, hope, or love? Do we believe in these things? Or do we not have any belief in anything and we're just, I'm here, what do I want to do? Why wouldn't I do that? I don't believe that there's anything that would keep me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish. Why would there be? I want to do it. I'm doing it. No, I'm not prescribed anything other than that. I don't know why you're trying to tell me I'm doing the wrong thing when I'm just doing what I want to do, that I can do, that I've just done. And I did it. I could do it. I did it. And I'm going to continue to live my life. I'm alive. One day I'll be dead. I did what I wanted to do today. I don't want to hear why you think I did it wrong. You're not me. I do what I do. I do what I want. And it's okay. I get that. I get that argument. But what is wisdom? Where does the wisdom come from? And what I've seen is the people with the most wisdom have an awareness for the Bible. And, I think there's something to be said about that, and I feel like when we're born with this capacity for what? What is belief? What is hope? What are these things that we can't, why do we have emotions? What is all of this? Why do we have emotions? I'm an existentialist. And when I think about life, I think about what it would be like without any emotions. I'd be fine. I would be just fine in a life without emotions, doing whatever I want to do, satisfying whatever I want to satisfy. I'd be fine. The reason I don't lie is because I don't want to keep up with my lies. And that's my existentialist reasoning behind the Bible told me not to lie, and I thought about it, and I thought, what, that's a good idea. And what is wisdom? What is this capacity we have for hope? What is that? What is this capacity we have for, to outwardly love? What is that? What is that? And I believe we're born with that. I believe we're born with an openness to what emotions are. I believe we're born with an openness to peace, hope, and love. Who doesn't want peace? Who doesn't want world peace? Who wants the world to be at war? No one, because then your family's at risk, you're at risk. No one wants to die just because they want to make money from a war. No one wants to. There's no man that would rather make money from a war that's 90% sure he's going to lose his life because he made another $1 million. Nobody. The people that are that greedy do not want to die, in my experience. Um, but that's my personal experience. That's my opinion. And the question that I've asked myself is, what is wisdom? You know, Not so much where does it come from, but what is it? And I believe that there's something to the most accurate perception of truth. What is truth? Truth is it is what it is. That's the truth. It is what it is. It is. Red is red. What is red? Oh, it's an absence of color, and it's the most absence of color substance that there is. And when the light reflects off of it, it's red. Okay, well that's what red is. It is. It is what red is. It is what it is. And wisdom is not saying, oh, red is from hell. The color red is from hell. The only reason we have red is because there's a hell. No, that's what? Why? No, red is an absence of color. And does the Bible ever say that we're wrong? No, it says that we are the way we are because of Adam. And the Bible says that with these 10 commandments that I give you, there's a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you follow them, and a curse if you don't. And that's the problem that non believers have, is these people have this blessing by living according to the 10 commandments. That's it. That's the major problem. They can't have that blessing. They want to do what they want, but then they look at the blessing that comes with obeying the 10 commandments. They're like, well, I want a blessing. What are you doing? What do you got there? I want that. This blessing, and you just feel better about life in general. Sounds good. I want to do that. Oh, but I can't. I don't. Well, now wait a minute. And then you ask, how does it work? What is a blessing? Why does it feel better to obey God's law? And what is this natural capacity we have for emotions and hope and all these things? I'm an existentialist. I'm not a big believer in emotions. Emotions are not part of Catholicism. Emotions are not part of existentialism. And I don't have a lot of emotions, and I'm happy not having emotions. I don't have a lot of friends, but I pray a lot. God keeps me company, and my prayers, keep me. I don't know how that works, how that replaces, a social need. Maybe it's because I'm contributing to society as a Catholic, and that fills the void of having to contribute to society. Why? Why do we have to contribute to society? But we do, and that's how we progress, and that's how we become more capable and have a better life. Is we all live life together in a way that better suits everyone. And is that God? Do we know? Do we know whether or not that's God? Do we know what God says He is? If we know what God says He is and we disagree with it, then we might have an argument. If we don't know what God Himself says He is, this God thing, this blessing and a curse, 10 commandments, what's Moses talking about? Oh, he heard God tell him. Well, who does God say He is? He says He's the man that gives a blessing and a curse. Is it real? Yeah, all the non-believers want the blessing. But it comes with the curse that those who believed in the blessing and experienced the blessing can never turn away from it, or they will never get it again. And that's the curse. And that's the world that we live in now. And it goes back to Adam and Eve. And, I could talk about this, but I'm talking about wisdom. But I'm just going to talk about this real quick. It goes back to Adam and Eve. Adam was the first guy to sin. And we all sin because of Adam. And then Jesus, this perfect person, dies for no reason. And that impacts the world forever. And, you think about how Adam and Eve began to degrade human existence by contributing to a sin factor. Which is what it says in the Bible, that before, when humans were created, there was Adam and Eve. They were perfect. What did they do? They ate the fruit from the tree that they're not allowed to do it. They did it. They ruined it for everyone. None of us are as we were created to be. Why? Why are we not as we were created to be? And this is the existentialist part of me. And I know I'm not disruptive to Catholics. I'm Catholic. I'm a Catholic existentialist. I'm not going to apologize for being an existentialist. But yeah, what is it that is that sin that we have? Why are we not? Oh, wait a minute. This blessing and a curse thing. We were originally created to be perfect and live in a paradise. I want that. I want to do that. Feel good about everything all day, every day. Always be happy and have hope and light in my life. And all these good emotions, whatever. Oh yeah, feel good in your ego, all this blah blah blah. Ego. I'm not a psychologist. I'm an existentialist and a Catholic. And your ego's what it is, and the science of maintaining you good self-esteem is what it is, that it's good, and but after Adam and Eve, then Jesus died, and we're told when Jesus comes back to life on earth, we'll enter into heaven on earth, like Adam and Eve were in paradise before they ate the fruit that they shouldn't have eaten. And when you think about it, okay, what does that mean? It means that we were created for a thing better than what we accomplish on our own. We have accomplished sin. We have had to be instructed, the Ten Commandments, and then we had to have a perfect guy that never did anything wrong, that only helped everyone in the world for all of time, die for no reason other than he did nothing but help everyone for all of time. And I guess this is a very existentialistic view of God, but um, yeah, after that happened, we were promised. We had to be promised. We didn't figure it out on our own. We had to be promised this by God, that eventually we will return to being happy in the world. There will be heaven on earth. And that's what I look forward to. Because if that can happen, I want that. I want that. I want that to happen. I want to live in a paradise every day. Right now it's just a concept. It's just a figment of my imagination. But that we were created for that. We were created to be in God's love every day of our life, and that God created us to be perfect. As Jesus says, be perfect as the Heavenly Father is perfect. I have it on the back of one of my shirts, but there's a passage in Matthew. It's all right, fine. I'll look up the passage. If you guys are curious about, those are my dirty clothesmen, of course, and not just the floor. If you guys are curious about, be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:48. And I want to break down whether or not this is wisdom. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Okay, what is perfect? It is to be therefore even as which the Father in heaven is. What is heaven? Great. What is perfect? Can we accomplish it? There's two ideals that you can put them together and become. And, I feel like that's wisdom, in that, we weren't created to be miserable. We weren't created to just live in chaos. We're smarter than all the animals. Why are we smarter than all the animals? God made us this way, is what the Bible says. Fine, okay. I want that. I want dominion over the animals. I want that. We get it. God gave it to us. Okay. Yeah, I'm game. I'm on board. Let's go. And one day we'll go to paradise. One day heaven will be on earth. Yes. Yes, I want this too. I want to do this. This is what I want to do as well. And that's the nature of my Catholic existentialism. But I think that there is wisdom in that it does not subject upon the reader how it has to live. Rather, it reveals to the reader how it could live. And I think that's wisdom, and I think therein lies the line between wisdom and knowledge. And that's what I think wisdom is. Thanks for watching. Peace.